Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here at Southbound 2026, and there hasn't been a moment like this since the lunar landing in 1969. There has not been this much impact in one moment since the dinosaurs were extinct by the meteor. I am standing alongside Diana Gonzalez. Not only is she leading Allbound for RevPartners, what is your official title? I don't want to misspeak and be burned alive.
Senior Product Growth Manager for the Allbound line of service at RevPartners.
That's too many words, but that just gives you a little bit of insight as to how much responsibility and impact she has. I am thrilled to say that I've known her for a while. We used to work at RP with her, and I can attest firsthand to the amount of GSD she has. Do you know what GSD is? Get shit done.
Right.
So she does it herself, and she makes sure that teams do that. Can you tell us a little bit? We were on a podcast recently, mine, no flex there, but Numbers Known, talking about the Allbound product and how teams can use it, what it's about. And luckily, we're standing in the middle of sponsors that are RevPartners, Super, Clay, that kind of comprise the Allbound product. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. So we are essentially orchestrating inbound and outbound activities, and it is just so timely for this type of conference because we're truly just leveraging AI to make go-to-market exercises a lot more effective and efficient. So really being able to take the normal manual way of people doing prospecting and turning that upside down with AI, RevPartners, HubSpot, Super, etc., to be able to create this engine that's automatically pushing the high fit and intent contacts into the top of the line for prospecting.
And it's not just that, but getting teams to understand what that means. So there's an element of coaching, getting the definitions built out so you understand what high intent looks like so that you can find companies and they can find you. But that's more the all part, right? The debate forever has been inbound versus outbound. Is either one dead? How's AI impacting all of that? Can you tell us kind of how the two, the cooler story was really good. You don't have to tell that again, but how the two kind of are incorporated together in an example that drives and converts revenue.
Yeah, they're not dead. They have just never really worked together, and that's what we're seeing that is needed. So the buyer journey is getting more and more complex, and we're still looking at things from the perspective of a very linear funnel. And so please stop. What we're seeing now is that when you're doing inbound and outbound together, when people are seeing you everywhere and anywhere at the same time, your brand recognition goes up, and brand recognition is not a buzzword. It's literally how people remember your product, your solution, the person who's reaching out, and they're much more likely to be able to actually engage and book a meeting, which is ultimately that pipeline generation that we all care about so much. And so when you're orchestrating your same outbound campaign with a LinkedIn message, with a paid campaign, with being everywhere, you're able to generate that pipeline so much more effectively.
The first time I believe I've ever seen this happen. People have been talking about you so much today that you've lost your voice.
Yeah.
It's crazy. A bunch of comments have, so they're there. That's pretty good. There's been so many people that have been talking about all the effects of Allbound, Clay, how much of a thought leader you are, even though sometimes I know you don't want to be one, but now I think you're embracing that. And you're everywhere as well, right?
Yeah,
which is good.
Try to be.
You've done the assistant prospecting webinar with us that you can download. The State of Sales Enablement panel is on when?
On the 21st of April. Come watch us.
Which is Tuesday, and Diana's going to be doing that. But I think if there's anything that go-to-market leaders should hear right now about what's something they can do today, right? Like a lot of times diagnosing and like where you are. How do I know that I need Allbound? How do I know that this is a problem? What's something actionable they can do to even determine if this is an approach they should take?
That is a great question, and I can just answer it for you right now. You do need Allbound, right? Like, it is just the way that the market is evolving and what needs to be done in order for you to break through the noise of everything that people are getting right now. All of this overload of information that buyers are getting needs to cut through with something. And so one of the suggestions that I have in regards to what they can do right now is we have an AI assessment that you can go through and figure out if you have the foundation set in order to be able to orchestrate this type of activities. But I think in general, the question that you should be asking is, what is the mindset shift that we need to have in order for AI to do the things that we wanted to do the effectiveness and be able to actually generate pipeline? And that all comes down to this change management that we have to do around, you actually don't have to go out and find your prospects anymore. You don't have to go out and spend hours researching a company or the right contacts. AI and Allbound is able to feed that straight into your pipeline to your BDRs, surface the right information, the right contacts with the context to be able to reach out and prioritize them based on how much intent there is. Now, what you need to do is have that change management piece so that what AI is able to bring you, your BDRs, your SDRs are able to actually action on, right? So if they're still in the mindset of we're gonna go out and look for this prospects or this contacts or this research, you're essentially wasting the time that you're investing into AI. And so helping them see this other side of the coin, why that is more effective, is where we should all be heading as leaders of go-to-market.
Shout out to John Acuff. I heard the mindset shift reference there. So you need a new soundtrack, and Diana can definitely help you with that.
What up?
Yeah, you should come attend the State of Sales Enablement panel webinar on 4/21. It's free. There's a download that's free. There's an AI assessment to see if you have the foundations for Allbound that's free. But what's not free is Diana's time, and we're out of it. We'll see you next time.